Cheers, I do. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer and Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video as I try to get things organized over here. Oh, there we go. Let's try that again. So how the heck are you? How are you, man? Oh, why that's not working. There we go. That straightened out, and we'll get started here. Anyways, how the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer Whiskey Whisperer, at least for the purposes of this video. I'm got the third of three heirloom corn whiskeys from Pinckney Bend. This is their Boone County. One of them was aged 2 years, one aged five. They're all different heirloom corn varieties. This one's aged a year. This one says it's aged 1 year in new and used Missouri white oak cooperage. So there we go. And I got a little bit of this Oktoberfest left, so I'm going to finish it off with you as well. The Gab Fest is called, from Banter Brewing. Their Märzen style that just came out. It's a little on the big side for this style, but not so much that it's out of the realm of possibility. It comes in at 6.2, so it's on the big side, but not overly so, as I got about 2 ounces of this particular whiskey. Oh, mercy, Percy, how the heck are you? Just watched an old movie. One of my favorite Halloween themed movies, Transylvania 65000. Great movie. Jeff Goldblum, Ed Begley Jr., the great John Biner, the even greater Carol Kane, who I've come to the conclusion that she is the most underrated actress in the history of filmmaking. When you look at some of the stuff she's done, from that movie to Taxi to Princess Bride, and then to now Strange New World, Star Trek, a brilliant actress that has been overlooked somehow. Anyways, I digress. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put it up on the screen if you like. I will answer almost anything unless you choose to be a colossal asshat. And we all have some of those, don't we? Anybody that does any of this for any period of time is going to have trolls. I just don't, I don't know. I hate to give them a platform, but I don't understand that troll mentality. People that intentionally watch you that don't like you just so they can say nasty things. I just don't understand that mentality. These people lead such little bizarre, pathetic lives that they have to troll you. I mean, what kind of cowardly individual feels the need to do that? I mean, you got to be a special kind of chicken shit to have to lead that kind of life. Just to throw insults at folks just because you don't like them. They're watching you, and they go out of their way to watch you just so they can say nasty things about you. Oh, what a cowardly chicken shit piece of shit has to do something like that. Anyways, I digress. I mean, if I don't like folks, I'm not watching your stuff. I'm not commenting on your stuff. I don't understand why folks feel the need to have to do that. But anyway, you can't do this for any period of time. I've been doing this for over a decade now, and I've gathered a few over the years. Some of them came and went. Some of them hang on, or they're gone for a while, and then they come back. Who knows? I just don't understand that mentality. These people lead these shallow, pathetic lives. They feel like they have to bring you down to their level. Anyways, let's focus on the whiskey, shall we? Yes, we'll do that. So again, what I was saying earlier is that what I find interesting is that these heirloom corn whiskeys, even though I mean the only change is the variety of corn, how much difference they taste from variety to variety. All of them lend themselves well to making whiskey, but all of them come at it in a very different way, and that's what I find very interesting. I will say right now, though, what I'm noticing about this one, much different than the other two, is it does feel a little more grainy on the nose than the other two do. I really feel those core notes more prominent in this particular variety, the Boone County. And that might be because it's only aged a year as opposed to the one's aged 2, the other's aged 5. Oh, mercy, Percy. It does feel like, again, I mentioned the last one I had, the uh the Hickory Cane. The other one. The mouthfeel. This one, the mouthfeel does feel just a tad thinner on this one than the other two varieties. I will say. I must say, going grimly on you there for a second. I must say, uh, I said in the last video too. I've been feeling more of whiskey neat than I had been, say, whiskey on the rocks or even cocktails. But I may have one cocktail with you at the end of the evening as I'm trying to finish up this beer. I've been struggling drinking beer lately, so I've been drinking, about a glass. And I mean, this is a 32-ounce growler, so technically it holds, 2 pints, but it's just taken me a while to get through these, longer than it should. Mercy, person. Yeah, Musk and us changing Twitter to X. Does anybody care? Nobody cared about Twitter before. Now we're supposed to care they changing it. Oh man, talk about an ego issue. That dude, man. Elmo Musknuts. I tell you what, I'm not calling the platform X until he hosts a screening of Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens. Until then, it's going to be Twitter. I'm always going to refer to it as Twitter. And quite frankly, I'll be honest with you. I look on it from time to time. I actually went a couple years without using it at all. I mean, I kind of forgot it was even there until some things started popping up. So okay. I mean, Twitter's been irrelevant for quite some time, and it's become more irrelevant since Mustache took it over. Since he fired anybody that had any competence, now it's just him making decisions that he has no idea what he's doing. Because he was born on third base and thought he hit a triple. Oh man, got these people that were born rich that are describing themselves as self-made millionaires. Yeah, right. You were handed money. From your apartheid. Uh, Emerald dealing, poor excuse for a father, and you want to convince us you're self-made? Hell no. You didn't invent the Tesla either. You lying little candy ass. Tell us how you really feel, Tom. I will tell you, to be honest with you, of the three varieties, I probably like the other two better overall, for neat drink. I do feel the corn elements in this one more so than the others, but again, that's just my personal preference. A lot of that is because of the mouthfeel. It just feels just a tad lighter than the other two. And again, that a lot of that could be just because I mean, it's a younger whiskey. It's only been aged a year. That could be part of it too. Not that I don't like it. I'm just saying for my particular taste, I'm feeling the other two just a little bit more than the Boone County. But having said that, the truth is this is a 100 proof whiskey, and as you can see, as I'm drinking, I'm making no face. It is not hard to drink in any way. And again, it does use Missouri white oak, but I'm not feeling the spice notes quite as prominent on this one as I have the other two as well. I am feeling the nice oak notes though. It does finish nice oaky dry, but the spice notes seem less prominent to me here. It is good though. Again, it's just we're talking just a matter of degrees, right? Ah, biscuits. Anyway, cilantro. No, Tom, it's Oktoberfest season. Say Prost. Prost. Anyway, there you go. It's Oktoberfest season. Obviously, a lot of places were doing. They had a lot of festivals going on in Springfield today. I did go to Mother's Oktoberfest when they had it, but I haven't hit any others. Not that I dislike the Oktoberfest. I just don't like crowds as much as I used to. We had a Wire Road, a great brewery here in town, had their Oktoberfest today. As Macadoodle's, a liquor store chain here in town, had their. I mean, there's very affordable. It's only $10 with a lot of stuff to sample. You can certainly get your money's worth rather easy. I just don't feel like fighting with people anymore. I don't dig festivals as much as I used to. I used to love going to beer fests and whiskey fests and all these other fests, Oktoberfest. I just don't dig hanging with the crowds. I don't want to have to stand in line to get a little sample. No, I'd rather just pay what I got to pay and sit down and have an actual drink. I sit down, have an actual pour, and relax, and enjoy it, and sit down to knock a sample back and go to the next booth. I just don't enjoy that as much as I once did. Whatever was in me that made me enjoy that, I don't have that anymore. I don't want to have to stand in line. I don't want to knock a sample back to go to the next booth. Now I want to order a drink, sit down, and enjoy the damn drink. But there was a lot of stuff going on in town today. There was those two things. Mothers even had an event going on. A lot of different things happening here in town. Another liquor store in Ozark was having something going on from 5:30 to 9:30, and I thought about going for about a half a second. And again, and I thought I don't want to have to deal with crowds. I don't want to put on clothes mostly. I'm kind of over it. I got to get dressed to go to work. When I'm not working, I really don't want to have to get dressed for anything anymore. I want to stay home. That part of me that used to want to get out and get social, I just don't have very much anymore. I'm over it. I have to be social at work. I want to just on my days off. I just want to come home and not do a whole lot of anything. To be honest with you, I don't want to get clothes on. I don't want to have to be pleasant. I don't want to have to be politically correct. Don't want to have to watch what I say, which I'm not very good at anyway. I mean, I never really had a filter, and it's getting worse over the years. There are times at work I really can't say what's on my mind, so I've really just got to, because sometimes I've already said it before I realize I've said it, so I really got to just concentrate on not saying anything. Sometimes it's really hard, man, because I hear some stupid shit from time to time, and sometimes it's hard not to react. you you're at a work situation now, you can't react. Please don't say anything, Tom. I'm telling myself, please don't say anything. Don't say anything. I know that was like one of the most ignorant things you ever heard, but please don't say anything bad. Man, that was horrendously stupid, but please, Tom, don't react to it. There are times I just have to kind of walk away from the situation for a second. You'll have to walk back in. So take a breath. Don't say anything, Tom. They probably don't realize how stupid they are. Don't say, don't react, man. Don't react. Don't do it. Oh, man. Yeah, after what I said earlier, I'm going to have to kind of take some of it back. Yeah, I am enjoying this more as I'm getting through it. Of the three, though, I probably say it is probably third in line, but I don't. I am liking it more as I'm going. I just feel those corn notes. You can really taste the corn more in this one than I did in the other two, and that could be just because it's a younger whiskey that I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm assuming at this point because it just feels a little lighter. That could be the variety, how the variety reacts to the barrel too. So would I cocktail this or would I put this on the rocks? I would not, and the reason for that being is again I feel like the flavors and aromas are a little lighter. I feel like if you put this on the rocks, you could lose it completely. And the same thing with cocktailing, and I feel like you could lose it. Some whiskeys really have to be drank neat just so you can appreciate what they have, and I really feel like this is one of them. I feel like you're going to lose it if you try to do anything to it. And early on, when the graininess was kind of putting me off, the more I've kind of, you know, really sat down and tried to feel those different flavors and aromas and how they come together. Yeah, I am liking it more than I did initially. I would just feel the grain right away that I didn't on the other two. But now it's making more sense to me. Now I get it now. It's coming to me now, man. Sometimes it takes a minute. anyways, anyways, I digress. But I digress, man. Uh, so tomorrow will be my wife and I our 29th anniversary. We're gonna go have a nice lunch in a restaurant in town. The name has changed, but it's more or less the same place. If anybody remembers the old steak and ale chain, that's kind of where it started for us. One of our early dates was out there. Then when we just before we got married, the wedding, we didn't really have a rehearsal dinner, but we did take the wedding party out for dinner there at the old Steak and Ale, which is now the Jim Steakhouse. It's more or less the same concept that it was then. And we decided to do our anniversary there because we're kind of old school kind of folks. There's more, there's hipper places in town to go, I guess. A lot of places are closed on Sundays, though, so I kind of narrowed it down too. When I looked at what was available, I just in the trendy hot spots, that's just not us. We're more old school steakhouse kind of folks, and it has that old school steakhouse kind of feel to it. Reminds me of a lot of places I used to go to way back when. But like I said, it's kind of where it all started for the wife and I. So it's where we had the wedding party. My best man had his girlfriend with him at the time, and this chick was a little bit on a different side. My friend's very conservative, despite the fact that he, had hair down to his hips and earrings in both ears. Yeah, he was a little bit more on the conservative side, but his girlfriend was not. Uh, well, most of us ordered the surf and turf or prime rib and lobster, and most of us can eat a lobster tail, but she took there, but it wasn't a huge tail. It was a 5 ounce tail, but she took this sucker out and ate it all. Just shoved it in her mouth like Linda Lovelace. I swear to God. And then she tried to steal his lobsters. No, you're not touching my lobster. I looked at her and said, "Don't even think about it. You ain't getting near my lobster, chick." She was fun enough, actually. She was kind of fun, but she was a little bit on the odd side, which I know was a little strange coming from me, because I'm a lot on the odd side, but she was even odd from my point of view. Uh, we were getting married. My parents had a place at Lake Palminteri at the time, so the only place to really have a bachelor party was the VFW, which my dad was a member. So we didn't have any problems getting in there. I mean, everybody in there knew me anyway. Well, most everybody knew me. The bartender knew me, and our waitress knew me very well. So they made sure we had, fresh pitcher of beer and shots on the regular. They were really good. But if you've ever been a member of an American Legion or a VFW, you always know there's this one guy who thinks he's in charge, but he's really not. The leisure suit guy. And the guy that still thinks it's 1979. Yeah, this guy, man. It was the mid 90s at the time, but this guy still thought it was 1979. He had on this leisure suit like nobody's business. wearing it like he was in Studio 54. And he got a little upset. He thought our service was just a little too good. So he went and complained to the bartender, who said, "We know him." Who then complained to the waitress, and who told her, "We know him. We know his dad. They're in here often. He's getting married tomorrow." So then he thought he'd come to the table and start some problems with us. And he was basically letting us know who was in charge, right? That we needed to understand our place, that we were members, that uh, but again, I will say the folks that were with us, my friend, I mentioned long hair and four earrings, but I did mention earlier that he was Japanese. And then my other friend that was with us at the time had long hair all about down to here and wearing a Grateful Dead t-shirt. So, yeah, well, we weren't really trying too hard to conform, to be honest with you. So he went over there and he went up to my buddy in the Grateful Dead shirt. And my buddy Tim says, I know you think you're trying to stretch your stuff here, but I'm not the tough guy in this room. See that guy over there pointing at my friend Chris, Japanese guy with long hair and pointing at Chris says, "That guy will tear your fucking head off." And so that dude makes Bruce Lee look like a pussy. So you want to start some shit with me, go ahead, but you better stay clear of that dude because he will tear your fucking head. Now, I will tell you that my friend Chris was kind of plain at the time. He had this look on his little, Japanese Clint Eastwood kind of thing look on. But my friend Chris had never been in a fight in his life. Probably couldn't even throw a straight punch. But after that, that guy kind of backed off and left us the hell alone. He just kind of gave us a dirty look every once in a while, but he never approached the table again. It was a hoot. Anyway. There were no strippers. It was a bachelor party, no strippers. And quite frankly, in that particular part of town, I'd have been afraid to hire one. Might have been somebody's cousin or something. Nobody wants that. Everybody knows everybody out there. Everybody's related to everybody in that particular neck of the woods. Oh, mercy. Anyways, I digress. I digress. It was nice though. Next day at the wedding, I guess I was looking a little uptight and fidgety, and it was like 10 in the morning, and everybody else was drinking. And my friend Tim tried to get me to have a beer. I said, no, I'm good. Just you need to just have a beer and chill the fuck out. So he popped the beer and handed it to me, and I grabbed the beer and I walked to the bar was set in the garage area. I walked out and I just took the first drink of that beer. And right at that moment, the Baptist priest that was going to marry us pulled in the driveway. It's one of those timing is everything kind of moments. I knocked the beer back, said, "Hi." Yeah, fuck. Too late now, man. Anyways, and then my wife was late. So then I was panicking even more. But she showed up. She eventually got there. My oldest sister pulls her off to the side, gives her a present, said, "Thank you for saving our little brother." Like I was going to go to hell in a handbasket. The truth is, I probably was, though, to be honest with you. And then here we are, 29 years later. However, we're actually together about 2.5 years before we got married. So we're pretty close to 32 years together, but married 29. Yeah, I got to be honest with you. This whiskey's kind of growing on me. I feel like the harsh, well, maybe not harsh, but what I was saying about it early on about the grainy feeling I was getting early on. I think I was just kind of well misjudging it or not quite understanding it early on because I am tasting it much better now. But you do feel the core notes, I guess. Maybe that's what was throwing me off early on. What I do like about it, though, that the sweetness is a little more subtle than the other two. The other two are a little sweeter. Maybe that's what was throwing me off. And then the mouthfeel is just a tad lighter. But again, the more I drink this, the more I am enjoying it. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and we change props here. We'll put the whiskey bottle off to the side. We'll put the beer front and center here. Anyway, Banter Brewing. This is their Gab Fest, their American style Oktoberfest. I love the color though. The color of this beer is just perfect. You gotta love that color. That big deep copper, amber, whatever you would call that. The right light gives it a little bit of a ruby kind of hue to it anyway. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. Pros,